Oh, glories to the Summer. Oh, glories to the Summer. Oh, glories to the Summer. Oh, glories, oh, glories. No, it's the introduction. We'll see how far we can go, but I assume that the two verses that go is a follow-up from the verse. Just go back a little bit, and then we'll go on to 47, which has only 2 lines of the purport. We'll see how like that. So I'll need the blessings from all the devotees, please. From this most magnanimous Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namaskritya
Namaskrityam
Chaiva Narottamam
Naro Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Sarasvatam Vyasam
Devim Sarasvati Vyasam
Sojaya Mudiraya
Atandaya Udiraya
Nasta Praishu Bhatreshu
Nastapreshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya
Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama-shloke
Bhakti Bhavati Naistike
Bhakti Bhavati Naistike
Isham Tavanuja Bala Kripana Utrikopama Antam Narhasi Kalyanim Imam Tvam Salam Ishatavanuja Bala Kripana Putrikopama Antam Narasi Kalyanim Imam Tvam Dinavatsala Ishantavanuja Bala Kripana Putrikopama Antam Narasi Kalyanim Imam Tvam Dinavatsala Ishatavanuja Bala Kripana Putrikopama Antam Narasi Kalyanim Imam Tvam Dinavatsala
Ishatavanuja Bala
Ishatavanuja
Kripana Putrikopama
Kripana Putrikopama
Ishatavanuja Bala
Ishatavanuja
Kalyanim Imam Tvam Dinavatsala
Ladies, please.
Ishatavanuja Bala
Ishatavanuja Bala
Kripana
Kripana Putrikopama Isha this Tava your Anuja younger sister Bala innocent woman Kripana completely dependent on you Putrika Upama exactly like your own daughter Antum to kill her Na not Arhasi you deserve Kalyanim who is under your affection Imam her Tvam you Dinavatsala very compassionate to the poor and innocent. Translation. For His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As your younger sister, this poor girl Devaki is like your own daughter and deserves to be affectionately maintained. You are merciful, and therefore you should not kill her. Indeed, she deserves your affection. Please repeat. As your younger sister, this poor girl Devaki is like your own daughter and deserves to be affectionately maintained. You are merciful, and therefore you should not kill her. Indeed, she deserves your affection. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunirpanjana Tasmin Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakaram Mayam Swakarantakam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sagalar Gunatam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Santam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakavitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Chakapati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Sadakanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamani Vanchakalpatrabhusya Vasadhi Patitanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Jayam Nirvisesha Srimati. So, okay. Right. There's a lot of ladies in the room, so we're going to go back to married mothers here. Think of the first day you were getting married. I don't know if you're brothers, but your brother is there, you just married, you go in with your husband to your new abode, and your brother, your big brother, is helping you along, taking you. And then something gets into your brother's head. Some omen will go in the story and out of the story. Just to use your imagination. Some omen in the sky said to Kamsa that you're going to die from the babies from your sister. So, now your brother is in there and he pulled your hair. You just got married. This is your husband sitting on the cot. And your brother pulled your hair and he tries to sever the hair from your head. What's the husband going to do? This is his property. This wife is his property. He married her. Now he's going. And this is the big brother. Big brothers were meant to protect sisters, little sisters, and they're in the same family. So, here it said, as the younger sister, this poor girl, Devaki, is just like your own daughter. You need to take care of her and take care of her with affection. The word here is used, Dina Vatsala. Dina Vatsala means very compassionate to the poor and the innocent. But when we go to Vasudeva here is flattering Kamsa. He's using so much flatteration and he's trying to pacify his mind. He's such a demon. On 35, it explains what a cruel personality is. So we just go back to 35. Wanting to pacify Kamsa was so cruel and envious that he was shamelessly ready to kill his sister. The great soul Vasudeva, who was to be the father of Kamsa, for Krishna, spoke to him in the following words. So this is he was a demon, he was a Rakshasa. Next verse you will see he was a Rakshasa, a man-eater, envious of his own sister. So he was so scared of dying, he didn't see a relative, he didn't see family, he didn't have any affection, love, nothing. All he was thinking of protecting himself, really protecting himself. This is what happened to envious people. They want to possess what other people have, and through hook or by crook, they will try to get whatever they can from others. And this is a family member. Kamsa is a family member. And it's not, you don't have to look very far. All these things that are on the pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam is happening here in this material world. Right here now. And I've seen it, so many. Children are actually murdering, it's horrible to say, it's not, Prabhupada says here in one of the verses, he says it's too, he can't even mention how bad things can get. It's not for the page of the Bhagavatam. What was that?
Yeah, the calm is separated from the mothers for purposes which shall not be mentioned in the page of the Srimad
Srimad Bhagavatam. It doesn't even feel it can mention it. It's so cruel. So children are murdering their parents prematurely just for inheritance. Inheritance, they do that. So yeah, it's nothing. The Srimad Bhagavatam give us some very extreme circumstances so we can actually relate to it in this material world. We're not missing anything yet. There's not very much difference between the spiritual world and the material world. The stories in the Bhagavatam portray all the activities that we experience in the material world. All the stories here. And this is to remind us who we really are. From 39 to 45, 44, deep philosophy is explained. How we're not this body, how we took our birth here, how we're suffering so much, how we are so envious of other people, how we have to get out of here. Birth, death, old age, and disease. How we need to get out. And by being envious, cruel, and showing injustice to other people is not going to help us make progress in our lives spiritually. So we need to use our intelligence to move on. So we'll go on to text number 46. 46 goes, Shri Sukha Vacha, now Sukadeva is speaking to Pariksit Maharaj. Evam sa samabhipeta bodhiyamanopi dharuna nanivatata kuravya purushadan anuvrata. Sukadeva Goswami continued, O best of the Kuru dynasty, Kamsa was fiercely cruel and was actually a follower of the Rakshasas. Therefore, he could be neither pacified nor terrified by the good instructions given by Vasudeva. He did not care about the results of sinful activities, either in this life or the next. So, yeah, it gives a graphic example of who Kamsa really is. He's like the meaning of Rakshasa. Who is that? Rakshasa is like a man-eater. A man-eater, I mean, he's like, he's so fiercely cruel, he's not even bothered whether there's death coming to him, whether he's alive. As long as he kills his sister, he feels he's safe. That's his mood. As long as I kill my sister, I am safe. But here, in text 47, Nirbandham tasyatam kratva vichinta kadum dubi raptam kalam pratipyodam idam tatra vapadyata. So he says, when Vasudeva thought that Kamsa was determined to kill his sister Devaki, he thought to himself very deeply, considering the immediate danger of death. He thought of another plan to stop Kamsa. Although Vasudeva saw the imminent danger that his wife Devaki was to be killed, he was convinced of his welfare because at his birth, the demigods had played drums and kettle drums. He therefore attempted another way to save him. So you can see Vasudeva is not giving up. He's not giving up. He's determined to save his wife. And he's calling Kamsa really, nice words, saying, you're so merciful. Everyone sees you as a hero. You're the best of the Boja dynasty. Why are you thinking of doing this? And he can see he's failing in every way. He's talking about determination, how one should have determination and understanding of all your strength. You have to have determination. I say always, in Krishna consciousness, you have to have determination, conviction, and faith. Those are the three things: determination, conviction, and faith. And this helps us, focus. Come hail or high waters, we keep moving towards the goal. It's not an easy joyride, Krishna consciousness. Even out there in the material world, it's not easy. So, if anything, choose something where you can overcome birth, death, old age, and disease. There's no reward out there in the material world for suffering. Chewing the chewed, it's called chewing the chewed. When you suffer in the material world, then when there's a little happiness, you forget you suffered. But when there's so-called suffering in the spiritual realm, then we get purification. Purificatory process takes place, and then we progress on our journey. So we have a plus. The so-called suffering that we undergo, austerity, we should understand, in actual fact, that pain and suffering that we undergo is Krishna's mercy. But you need to be a little, advanced, because most people, when they're undergoing problems, pain and suffering, the last thing they want to hear about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. You can't preach that it's your karma, Prabhu, that is why you are undergoing this pain. You cannot do that. That seems very cruel. But the hard facts is that is the truth. Everyone comes to this world with their own responsibility. We cannot blame the instruments for our problems or our suffering. We cannot blame anything. We carry this on our own backs. We have a package deal, so to say. We come with a package deal, and we have to solve our own problem. Using our intelligence, we have to solve our own problems. But by putting the blame on this person, this thing, that thing, it's not going to solve any problem. It just adds up, because Vaishnava Aparad, even here or outside world, you still suffer. But within a spiritual environment, Vaishnava Aparad is the most, dangerous. It's like a mad elephant offense. So we have to be very, very careful that we tread very carefully on this path. So Vasudeva is thinking here, what am I supposed to do? This person is so cruel. He's cruel through and through. I'm trying my best, and it's his duty to protect. Now he's thinking very deeply, because Vasudeva is a very learned person. He knows the Shastras. When he was born, demigods were present. So he's thinking in this verse, how can I stop this person from killing his own sister, my wife? So, in actual fact, there's five persons that you don't kill under any circumstances. You know who they are? The cow, the Brahmin, a woman, a child, a young child, and an old person. So those are the people under no circumstances you cannot kill. So the Acharyas mentioned that when Putana was going to kill Krishna with the breast milk, Krishna closed his eyes tight. He really closed his eyes because he was thinking, I'm breaking one of the principles here. I'm going to kill this woman. So he closed his eyes tight. But obviously she died and she got rewarded, enormously. So Vasudeva in 38 is explaining to Kamsa that one who takes birth is sure to die. Everyone has to die. He says, for death is born within the body. With every person that's born, death is born as well. You may die today, you may die tomorrow, or you may live 100 years, but you still have to die. He's explaining to Kamsa, death is sure to come, he says. So, Vasudeva is making a point here to Kamsa, if you killed your sister, you're still going to die. And top of that, you will lose your reputation. Because all the family members agreed to this marriage. They all were favorable to this marriage. And they're happily sending the bride with the husband. So he says, how are you going to you're going to lose your reputation by killing your wife, by killing this your sister. And she's not only your sister, she's your younger sister. You should give her more affection, more love, and send her nicely. Why are you killing her? Why do you want to kill her? And you're going to lose your reputation. So, in 45, he's still trying to pacify, and then he realized, I'm getting nowhere. He's getting nowhere. He's so far gone. Kamsa is so far gone. He's getting nowhere. So Vasudeva is attempting something else now. He's thinking demigods, how he was protecting. He is convinced that he is going to be helped. That's how we should feel. When we're in trouble, when we're in difficulty, we should never give up hope, never quit, they say. Krishna is in our heart. He knows exactly what is going on with us. So we should never quit. We always be convinced Krishna is going to protect us. The pain and suffering we are undergoing a purificatory process. And when we come out of it, I don't know if many of you realized, you think it wasn't so bad after all. And you feel lighter. You feel lighter and you feel happier. But when you're in the crux of things, when you're really experiencing those difficulties, you can't think anymore. You cannot use your intelligence. You don't want to listen to advice. All you're thinking is, why me? Why am I going through this suffering? What have I done? And some people only think about this lifetime. I've been a really good person. Why me? What have I done to deserve this? We had a very serious case in the UK, in London, where we came from. This mother, well, she wasn't a fully fledged devotee. She didn't really understand the philosophy. So she asked for some moral support from me and my husband. And we were helping them along. What happened was, the GP, the doctor, complained to the social services that they weren't, she had twin babies, that they weren't looking after their babies very well. So twin babies, social services took away the two babies from the parents. Two babies, and they were, how many months? They were like 4 months old babies. And that was so painful. The lady was distraught. She was a lawyer, but she couldn't think anymore. She was writing all these pages and pages of notes how to get her babies back. She was, I don't know, she was so traumatized by the whole thing. And they still have the baby, 1 year gone. They still have the baby, cases upon cases upon cases. So we tried to explain to her, you have to calm down and speak very, peacefully to get your babies back. If you scream and shout and kick your legs, they're going to say you're not capable of looking after them. So it was so very sad. We were helpless. We couldn't speak philosophy. We couldn't speak because she was saying to us, I haven't done anything wrong. All along I've been helping people. I've been helping everyone. Sometimes I do a case, I won't even charge any money. Give advice on. All along I've been helping. Why is God doing this to me? She was like, so angry with God, fighting with Him. Fighting, why are you doing this to me? What have I done? So the materialists, they have this mentality, this is the only life. They don't understand the philosophy. And the case is going on. The case is going on. We gave her some practical advice, but she wanted us to top it up with flowery language, say how qualified the parents are. But we didn't want to go over the top because it wouldn't be the truth. And the judges are not stupid, they know, what's going on. So anyway, we tried our best. So here, we go to 47. When Vasudev saw that Kamsa was determined to kill his sister Devaki, he thought to himself very deeply. Considering the immediate danger of death, he thought of another plan to stop Kamsa. Although Vasudev saw the imminent danger that his wife Devaki would be killed, he was convinced of his welfare because at his birth the demigods were present. He therefore attempted another way to save Devaki. So we'll go on, we'll finish the text 47. I'm just going to go on to text 48, which has a little purport there. It's a very good one. Before reading this, I was under the impression that when we're suffering, when death comes, we embrace it and just let go and go with the flow. But this verse is completely different. I was quite surprised that Prabhupada is very strong in the purport. He says how we should fight back. Fight back tooth and nail to survive in this world. We're thinking we're saving this body, but this body is intrinsically connected to the soul. It's so intrinsically connected that when we're leaving our bodies, we want to fight tooth and nail to survive. That's how it is. But Prabhupada explains here, that's not one of the reasons why we're fighting to survive, because the nature of the soul, the super soul, the soul, individual soul, is eternal. There's no birth, death, old age, and disease for the soul. So because of this intrinsic nature, we have the tendency to fight right to the time of death. Therefore, we go to hospitals, no matter if we have an incurable disease, cancer, what have you, we still look for the best doctors, the best hospital, the best operation, all of it we're trying to make survival. I know Kadamba Karnana Swami, he's the exemplary example in our society. He didn't take any medication because he knew he was going to leave at a particular time. He had a glorious death. He depended totally on Krishna. All he did was Harinams from town to town. Everywhere Harinam, Harinam, that was his life and soul. Giving the devotees the holy name and taking them from town to town, giving others the holy name. Amazing. So he didn't take anybody. He was fighting. How was he fighting? By standing up and giving the holy name. His body was deteriorating, but he stood up and fought to give out the Krishna consciousness. One time I was watching on YouTube, Jai Veta Maharaj was saying, Maharaj, you can stop chanting now. He said, Maharaj, please, I beg you, don't give me this instruction. This is like Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was being carried. Lord Chaitanya said to Haridas Thakur, you can stop chanting now. You chanted all your life. You can stop chanting. What did Haridas Thakur say? Anyone know? He said, please, I beg you, let me die. He was asking Lord Chaitanya, please imploring me, Lord Chaitanya, please allow me to die, don't tell me to stop chanting. So, Kadamba Swami, he was saying, Jai Advaita Maharaj, please, don't give me this instruction. And he would chant, the beat would drop, he could chant, no strength. It was like heart-rending, very painful to see, but glorious as well. It gives us so much encouragement to keep going. When you see others like this, so determined in their faith, in focusing on the goal of Krishna consciousness, it rubs off on you. It really rubs off and you think, I have to make an effort. I really have to make an effort on this path so others can be. If we allow ourselves to be an example for others, then that's a big help as well. So, it's explained here in this verse, 48, as long as he has intelligence and bodily strength, an intelligent person must try to avoid death. Right? That's the translation. This is the duty of every embodied person. But if death cannot be avoided in spite of one's endeavors, a person facing death commits no offense. Someone might think, oh, you're trying to save the body. We are not this body, we spirit souls. So Prabhupada is explaining here, a person facing death commits no offense if he's trying over and over and again to save the body. And the purport reads like this, it is natural for a person facing untimely death to try his best to save himself. So it's not wrong. This is one's duty. Although death is sure, everyone should try to avoid it and not meet death without opposition, because every living soul is by nature eternal. Because death is a punishment. There's no birth, death, old age in the spiritual world, so this death is like a punishment for us in this material world. And at the time of death, if you can use that verse, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto, if you can go with that verse, always think of Krishna, become his devotee, offer your homage, respect. And you will go to him. So that's the death we are facing, if we end our life, if we think of devotees, we have to pray to be surrounded by devotees, at the time of death. We have to be able to hear the holy name. Sometimes I get fearful if you leave your body in your sleep, overnight there's no one there, no devotees, no holy name. But Prabhupada says Krishna is in the heart. He knows. You'll always be protected, in sincerity. The Vedic culture is based on avoiding death. Trikta diham punajanima nayati. Everyone should try to avoid death and rebirth by cultivating spiritual life and should not submit to death without struggling to survive. One who is not trying to stop death is not an intelligent human being. So don't let anyone put you off. You can fight to your death. We all should fight to our death, thinking that we're going to we have to meditate on not taking birth at the time of death. So you're fighting to live an eternal life in your next life. So Prabhupada is saying, one who does not fight to the end is not very intelligent. He's not intelligent. He's not an intelligent human being, because Devaki was face to face with imminent death. It was Vasudev's duty to save her, as he was trying his best to do. He therefore considered another way to approach Kamsa, so that Devaki would be saved. So he's trying and trying, he's trying in so many different ways to save his wife and save his brother-in-law as well from the catastrophe that is about to perform. But Vasudev has hope, because he's not a baddie, he follows the Shastras, and he knows the demigods have been around with him. He understands Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mother Yashoda didn't know, but Krishna and Devaki, they knew that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he had some hope. He didn't give up hope. He had conviction, he had determination, he had faith. So this was plodding him on to think of different ways to pacify Kamsa. So I think I'll stop here. I've got 10 minutes. If there's any questions or if anyone has anything to add, make any comments or chastisements, I don't mind. I accept gladly. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for listening. And Hare Krishna. You have something?
It was really inspiring. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, really inspiring. I actually had so many questions in my mind, but then you actually answered it by the end of it.
Okay.
I think it was just really an inspiring reminder to remind us all that responsibility is key for us. Because I think there's one hand where we know that we're in Krishna's palm, we're an instrument, and that we're being guided, supported, challenged, and loved at the same time. But I think all of us at times can just renounce responsibility of ourselves. The fact that you said, I have some people, I know I've been here too, so I'm not preaching from a pedestal, but I have some people in my family who are giving into the circumstances of the mind, like the example that you gave in. We can be a victim in the moment, and it feels like that, and it consumes us. But there is always the choice. It was interesting when you said fight death, but I was going to ask you about that, but you tied it up.
Sorry, what was that?
When you said fight death.
Fight death.
Yeah, but you just mean could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Fight death is spiritually, we are eternal spirit souls. We're fighting death not to take birth again. See, but we have to remember Krishna at the time of death. What's that verse in Bhagavad Gita? I've got a really bad memory. If you remember Krishna at the time of death, you will go to him. So, always think of me, become my devotee of a young age. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. He's making, the whole Bhagavad Gita is promises. Bhagavad Gita is promising us that he will take care of us. Sarvadhamam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papibhyo mukshayasami masucha. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender to me. I shall protect you. He's very clearly saying there, I shall protect you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. The thing, what I find most interesting, when I walk outside, you think, devotees should always think this as well, to always remember Krishna and never forget him. When we're walking outside, we think, oh, the universal form has no spiritual planet, it's for the materialist, because they sing things to remember Krishna. But devotees, we go outside, we look at the wind, and you talk about fear factor, and it's explained that wind actually moves by the fear of Krishna. And you're thinking of this, You're looking at the leaves, everything should remind us of Krishna. So in that way, we're always meditating on his form. We can leave our bodies there and then. So at least we know, we have Krishna in thought. Anyone else? Yes?
The last verse was talking about how you should save yourself from death. There's no offense. So what was Kamsa's offense? He was trying to save himself from death also.
Right. I was gonna open this up to the audience. Actually, I had that written down. Where's my notes? Leave it to the audience, I said. What has to be? Do something to avoid death. Bala, strength of the mind, intelligence, and bodily strength. Exactly what Kamsa is doing. So why Prabhupada is saying you have to fight tooth and nail, be very, very strong to fight death. And why are we condemning Kamsa? Kamsa is doing exactly the same. He's trying to protect himself. He's fighting death. He wants to be alive. So what would your arguments be? I'll open it up and see what you say. I got some answers, but let's see what your answers are.
To do harm to others is always bad.
Yes.
So fighting, yes, but not through doing harm to others.
Yes. Yes. You protect others, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhupada didn't say that we should save our death by killing everyone around.
Save yourself and kill others, yeah. Thank you. Yes, Rita, Hare Krishna.
We can
Oh, that's not Rita, so.
we can
I see.
assimilate with the war of Kurukshetra. Everyone was fighting also for his proper life.
Right.
It was a lila also for bringing Bhagavad Gita instructions about the soul. So here we can also say it's an opportunity to teach about the soul.
Yeah.
And in Vasudeva was teaching Kamsa, you are teaching this.
Yeah. You have to fight death with morality, moral principles, right? Yeah. So Vasudeva is giving advice to Kamsa, right? On how to be a good person. Sorry, you had more? Okay. Because he's saying to Kamsa, you're a hero. You're a hero of the Bojo dynasty, and you're going to lose your reputation. Your reputation will be lost by killing your own sister. So from those words, we can understand, as Prabhu you said, we have to be good people. We have to help protect everyone and help others, on the path of devotional service, spiritual life. Okay? Hare Krishna, 9 o'clock, breakfast time. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shishiko Nitai ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Radha Govinda Madhava ki jai, Go Premanandi. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
So on the wall.